Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm World Dragon and this is another episode in Timberborn with our beautiful settlement of Porsaw. We left off last time. We have finally conquered the bad tide. We are building what comes next basically. We are gathering our metal. We are in our mine and we are forging ahead. The next thing we want to do is perpetual power. We could push and attempt to get increased power, but without perpetual power, let's go and turn my UI back on. Without perpetual power, it doesn't matter how much we have if it turns itself off, quite frankly. Now, to go ahead and get that, we need, well, a hell of a lot of metal. So first is first, we are expanding our tubeways. Oh, that's a good point. We need to go and destroy this thing, which hopefully doesn't take things out. We'll find out. What could possibly go wrong? Tubeway. I mean, that does stop me getting up here, but I shouldn't actually need to at this point. Not right now. And so once I've also gone and built this, I mean, I still can't get up here actually. But once I've gone and built this, at least there is the fast travel going through the middle, which is absolutely amazing. And so that's on a 90. And this will cut it down, if we ever finish it, to a... seriously. 42! Damn, that took a lot to build. How much money do you think they build? 3 resources. You got visited by about 12 beavers. Anyway. So this one's now built. We will have this one built very soon. And so, of course, once this one's built... I mean, this one's already helping. That will be giving them the path coming up here. And once this is finished, that will allow them to go straight up the top to the industrial area from the mine, which will help increase delivery speeds. And so, yeah, this is no longer connected whatsoever. And so, that means... now I'm going to go and place one of these on here just to bridge the gap. Because I don't want this in the ocean anymore. It is unnecessary and unneeded. So I am going to start trimming it back down. I mean, everything... well, it doesn't really matter how open everything is, to be honest. But, I mean, there you go. Contamination 1%. It's probably what we're still rocking on in here. It could take, honestly, I feel like it could take another 10 cycles just to get to 0%. That one tiny vein of corn. Lots of corn. I need a processing plant, a packing plant, a processing plant. What is it? A food factory. It's neither. I need one of those, which will cause, of course, which will cause me, I'm just shoving words together in the time-old fashion of trying to speak English. That would, of course, cost me, see what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. That would, of course, cost me more power, which I am not so much throwing away at this point. And as I said, though, so the next thing we want is this beauty. Let's go ahead and unlock the science for it at least. That leaves us with only 33,000 science. Whatever shall we do? So I do need some dynamite. And a hell of a lot of metal. Only 200 more. Well, 191. If you want to be a little bit picky. And a lot... well, no, we've actually got the gears. But we do want 2 of these. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and unpause this guy. Let's get back up to at least 50 dynamite, because like I said, once I can prop open one of them, at least I will have perpetual power. Say that 3 times. Really, really fast. Perpetually, some might say. So we also have our society on the water. We have gone and built a few things. And those few things being, and here you go, let's have a look. Our beautiful underground shrubberies. That's right, we demanded they bring us their shrubberies. And so with the shrubberies, oh, and the street lamps. We haven't replaced the street lamps just quite yet. We do, however, have a beaver, a bust, and a clock, which gets everybody. So with those improvements, we can now take down these. We have 68 free beds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 8 beds to spare. So I'll wait till morning until they've finished. Now the question being is, now we went and improved. No, we're still on plus 20%. It needs level 17. So we probably do have a couple that are up that high. Let's let them all relocate themselves. Yeah, cool. They are all relocated. Let's go ahead and destroy all of those. Go ahead and destroy all of those. Those. All of those. This guy up here. Done. So that's all that destruction done, quite frankly. I'm not going to destroy these quite yet because we have a few things back here I'd like to be able to pick up. Mostly logs, I guess. And then we'll go and destroy these platforms. And yeah, it's time to, well, just quite frankly start moving things around, building things up. And just quite frankly making everything more and more fantastic. Now. Problem. Oh, we did actually manage to get rid of this. Let's get rid of the next layer. Of course, you know, that's only 45 logs to be picked up, but they will eventually use them, I'm pretty sure, to make planks, etc. Oh, whoops. I pressed random. Our first bad tide, I'm so happy. It's our first bad tide since we've built our bad tide defense. Like I said, it makes me so happy. We can go ahead and delete this now as well. We don't need to get down into there. Yes, let's go ahead and get rid of the path. On that path because it's unnecessary and it will bug me a lot more than it should. Okay, and so we are throwing that metal. We might have the metal before we have the dynamite. How ridiculous is that? We are actually struggling a bit for bad tide, bad water. We did of course have all of these pumps down here, so I can probably, I'm going to get rid of 2 of those as well. I don't quite know what's going to become of everything. Like, I have no grand plan. I did say at the end of the last episode, I would come up with a grand plan. Well, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I've been so busy, I just haven't come up with the grand plan. So, apart from doing these bits of cleanup, there's, like I said, there's no grand plan. Nothing has been hatched in my brain other than soldiering on and moving forward, I'm afraid. Let's keep tidying up a little bit, though. Let's remove some more paths. How are you looking? 0%? 0%? That must mean that 0%. How are we doing on these ones, though? 1, 1, and 1. Okay, so the original basin is clean. And so that makes me think that I want to start moving back over there. But to be honest with you, I kind of want to start moving over there on top of the lake. So let me think, how would that work? So as long as the water is where it is, I would have to double check a drought to see how far it drops. Because what I would potentially look to try and do, and obviously I could go and build a ridiculously high-tiered platform farm, which I know is a very popular thing to go and do in, let's just say it's a very popular thing to go and do in many, many instances. I probably could have just done that from the other menu, but that's fine. Let's take that off. But I'm actually thinking of just kind of covering it. And just turning this into one giant farm. This circle is huge. And depending on how much it drops in a drought, which we would have to double check, I think it can be done. Because I'm also trying to think of, in essence, one-up rules in terms of irrigation. But so what I'm thinking in terms of one-up, so if I had it not on this level, but one level up, so I would always be one level up from the water. I'm pretty sure that should still be extremely well irrigated. Talking about being one up from water. Let's unpause this. Although I'm not actually sure if hang on, no, let's repause that. I'm not actually sure if I even need this anymore, to be honest. You can see how far the irrigation now gets. Due to the fact that I am not contaminated anymore. Because that's kind of what that was. It was a bit of a stopgap. To help spread irrigation because we were getting hammered so bad by contamination that our irrigation was only getting halfway there. We might not even need this anymore. I'm going to keep it turned off for a second. I'm going to let this dry out and I'm going to see what happens. So the bad tide has started, but oh my god. Oh, just hang on. Where's the bad water? Crazy. But wait. Could it be going somewhere else? No, I hope my system works now, because otherwise I'm going to look like an idiot. Would you look at that? It's all contained. It's just flowing in a good direction. Now, of course, yes, we're getting a bit of contaminated soil. That's fine. Oh, we're flooding. We're ah, damn it! Because of the way these stupid things work. Ah, dang! Do not need this basin to flood, although it could actually kind of flood a little bit, if I'm honest. We have 5 days worth of bad tide. Do you know what? I'm going to let it flood, and I'm going to fix it afterwards. Because I want to keep my bad water production going, basically. In fact, what I can do to attempt to contain this... No, not the levee, the one above it. Closed. And so that will technically stop that. That will stop coming out. It will not break anything back here. I can release it when we're towards the end of the bad tide. So in other words, I'll only get a couple of days of... Or a couple of hours, ideally, of flooding. As opposed to what was about to happen. Because it's filling up real quick. That won't take too long, though, to naturally evaporate, so we'll have that going soon enough. And so what I need to do is fix the fact that I have a hole. Easiest way to do that would simply be to raise these guys up one level, which will probably be the solution I go for. Although then the other question is 2 pumps enough? Is 2 pumps enough? Who only really knows? The reason they were designed this way so that we couldn't out-pump too much, but the fact that it flows over, so there is the slight diversion anyway. I don't think I really actually need this divide anymore, if I am perfectly honest. And so... we are going to save our metal first. Before we go and redesign, I can in essence just go and build these on there. Build this up one, build some more. Probably just get rid of this little area, to be honest. I don't think it makes any difference to the speed of the water flow, having this slight little diversion. Yeah, to be honest, in any way whatsoever. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. But like I said, I would quite like to get this done first. Now, we did stop at... Yeah, we definitely need more bad water being pumped. That is a given. And you know, like they're doing... Yeah, and it's getting empty pretty quick. So no, we just need to produce more bad water. Though I am a little bit surprised that 2 pumps can't go and keep one explosives factory and one extractor or one centrifuge going. That's I don't know, that's a little bit shocking for me, to be honest. 1 for each building? You'd think it'd be enough? I mean, what, 3 per hour? Oh, this uses 4 per hour. Oh, but then how much does this use? 5 per... Yeah, so I mean, this uses... math! Hard things! About 5 point something an hour, and I suppose this uses over 1 an hour. Yeah, it's just short. So 3 pumps should be fine, technically. Obviously, that's on perfect efficiency, which you don't quite get because of, you know, transport time and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, so that'll happen. Okay, I'm going to go and pause my explosives factory for now. I'm going to go and ask for this to be built. I'm going to start with the front one. Naturally open all the time. Because to be honest with you, although we still need 40 metal, we've got so many resources to deliver. He says, oh my dear lord, that's what happens when you have so many builders. I think I've got about 20. 8. They deliver resources really, really quickly. Oh, there you go. Turn the water back on. There you go. So that's gone down. It's just on that bottom level already. Okay, maybe we won't be able to make the rest of the metal by the time that we fill up all the other resources. So yep, so we will now have perpetual power. That is fantastic. And then we will look to do our expansions. I will unpause everything else as soon as that is built. And then I'll kind of just let the metal keep going as it does. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that you are top banana priority. And... and then what I'm going to go and do is... a 3 platform is needed. Do I have it sticking out backwards or do I have it sticking out forwards? Such hard questions. If I have it sticking out backwards, I need an extra one for the movement, basically. So, you know what? Let's just stick it out forwards. I want to have 4 going off there. And then we'll have another 4 going off here to put these 2. And so that will mean... I'm just going to go and grab 2 of these. I have plenty of planks. And that will allow them to, in essence, transition. We want a little ladder. I think that's already facing... Yep, that's already on a good side. And then, yeah, we'll build that up when it comes around to it. Okay, so 15 more metal blocks. They shouldn't take very long. And then we'll start building up everything else. Deep bad water pump. And then when those 2 are online, we'll take these 2 offline and rebuild this area. Because I do need to keep everything flowing. I'm going to go and turn that down one and unpause that again. Just to keep the dynamite slowly trickling back in. Because again, we do want to force this one to be permanently open as well. Let us... open. We're probably, yep, we're going to overflow a little bit again. That's fine. The only thing that's not fine is the fact that the contamination isn't going down, which is a little bit weird. Because nothing's going to be flowing out of this just yet. Although it is actually contamination 0%. And how about this one? Contamination 0%. Well, there you go. It's contamination 61%. I can only assume that bad water. I mean, according to this, it's all still fully contaminated. Oh, downstream contamination is 0%. Yes, but... Wait, downstream from that is 0%. I am so confused. This is broken. No, that's open. So we should have... flowing water. Alright, it works. I'm not going to question it. I'm a little bit confused and lost, but I am not going to question it. And more to the point, we now have perpetual power, ladies and gentlemen. This will be constantly forced open. And so, as I said, we now have perpetual power moving forward. We'll continue to very, very rapidly produce metal, because we have a lot of metal being required. Let us unpause a few things, although, yeah, I'm okay to unpause things, I think. Hang on, let's just go and let's do this the right way around. Let's go and prioritize those two. Then let's go and unpause things. Right, they're all unpaused. We have our way around both sides. Alright then, we'll... yes, it's currently too far to be reached because we have to kind of come back down this way to reach it. That's fine. That's all good. Right, so we're throwing everything else at these, but the metal blocks will prioritize, or should prioritize, yes, coming over here. They need 5 apiece. And then once we're kind of ready, I mean, I won't quite get 5 back is the problem, but once they're kind of ready-ish, I might take out these two and then wait for them to transition over. Yeah, just realized that's going to have to disappear. That's going to disappear when I destroy the thing that it stood on. That was a good building by me. Okay, our building is coming along beautifully, apart from the fact that we need metal. Does also mean that I will be able to get a whole bunch of other constructions going whilst I'm waiting on metal on everything. Oh, there you go. That's now been built. Let's go and change this construction over. I'm going to leave that by there a second for them to pick everything up, which they have almost done just beautifully. Metal blocks required 5. Beautifully done. Now that's all been picked up. Let us... Hoping... Yes, I'm hoping that pushed everything onto here. Beautiful, 25 metal blocks. And then we will have... Yes, no, that's fine. That is fine. That is fine. I was staring. I was like, wait, I've messed up. I need enough space for a path. That's because I haven't chosen to build this one yet. I'm just going to wait for them to take at least the metal blocks away, if not more, because the metal blocks are very much needed. If the other parts take a little bit longer to get to because they end up on the floor somewhere down here, that's perfectly fine. I do... Ooh, wow, that was quick. I suppose they probably just picked up a whole bunch of logs from here and threw it at him. Makes perfect sense. Okay, yep, there's no more... Yeah, see, they ended up on the floor, but that's fine. And then... Down that way. Wow, I've just made it so this can be done. And I mean just. Snaking it in right down the gap. All right, then. So then this is, oh, coming along beautifully, I would like to say. So this is going to start to be built. This is going to be finished. And that's those two in terms of current projects. Planks are looking good. Everything else is looking pretty good. Happy, happy, happy. We do still have this. With this poor beaver, Conan the Barbarian in it. I mean, look at the size of those shoulder muscles. He's got like a stamp on his back. Is that normal? Do all iron teeth have a... I mean, look at it. It's like... Is that a dude's face? Did somebody tattoo their face on this beaver whilst he slept? I don't know. You tell me, folks. I mean, look at, we got the hair. We got like the eyes and the nose shadow thing going on. We got a bit of a goatee going on here. Seriously. Somebody's tattooed a face on the back of one of my beavers. Now I need to find another beaver. Yes, see, look. They've all got it. Oh, too far. Well, I mean, this guy's just got a bit of a... Look, see, look. We've got an ear. That's the forehead. That's the face. It's completely featureless face. And this is just like a giant head of hair. Why are there people's faces on the back of my iron teeth? This is just weird. Anyway. So where was I? Oh yeah, I can build other things. What do I want to build? When do we want to build it? Now! Woo! Okay, yeah, I don't need any pathing. I could do with some dirt, but that costs me some metal. It just costs me some metal. Deep mechanical fluid pump. I don't really need one of those. Housing's all good. Food factory. That will also cost me metal, and we'll need the extra power. Don't need anything in terms of wood. Metal. The power buildings. Science things. Of course, these are robots. Which... I don't usually bother with robots. I feel like when you start throwing robots down, the game's just kind of over, to be honest. I mean, robots just take away so much of the need and the responsibility that you have with beavers that for me it just, yeah, like I said, it kind of just, the game just drops off once you get bots. But that's just me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people getting bots. That is definitely just me. But that's how I feel about them. And so, oh, how about we do a smidge more cleanup here? Yeah. And so, yeah, I am thinking that we definitely go and cover this place. We build a giant farming thing. I also want to slightly level this off. Not ridiculously so, but these top two bits here. Maybe one more level after that. Maybe I will level it off to that point. We'll get that all leveled off. It's still not going to be very well irrigated, but it'll be okay. What? Oh my, look at all of this horrible contamination. Not my problem. I love having a bad tide defense system. This is, of course, now evaporated and dried out. I'm going to go and just remove that because I may never build it. And having the blueprint there, I will remember, and it will bug me. All right, we're looking good. We are looking good. That will 100% be that. That will be an extended aqueduct. Now, this isn't going to be amazing levels of power, but it will be perpetual, and it will be decent enough to hold an industry. Poor guy. Seriously, Conan. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Conan with the weird clown face thing going on his back. Conan. Whoever ends up working this shall be called Conan. I mean, seriously, just look at the size of those shoulders and back muscles. This guy's been doing this his whole life. Poor Conan. So when we eventually do want to expand the housing district, that'll be easy enough. Yeah, I think... So yes, we need to get this up and going. And then it's all about... beaver happiness. I feel like we're at this point. Stupid projects and beaver happiness. That's what we're moving on to. So let's start with some beaver happiness, I think. As we might be able to get away with a smidge of that. Whilst we wait for our metal to keep coming in. Now we have no scratching posts. And now, the problem is actually a little bit is as well. Is that this is a bit of a self-contained island. So what I kind of have to do... is I sort of have to build... Now either I don't make this a perfect circle. And so therefore I have more of an open area. And that can become entertainment. Or I build little satellite islands. With their own stations and, you know, like little entertainment plazas. So those are the two options I have. If you're still with me, we're very much towards the end of the episode at this point. So if you've managed to stay with us for the whole thing, let me know in the comments down below which one you think would be better. And so we'll start doing that next episode. Like I said, I'm leaning a little bit towards satellite islands. Like little floating entertainment islands. You know, we'll get a couple of back scratches on there. We'll get a couple of... We'll have a little medical island as well. We need a medical island, of course. Yeah, we'll get a couple of back scratches. Like I said, we'll get a medical island. You know, we'll get an exercise plaza on one. A wind tunnel on another. We'll get detailers. Probably a little bit spread around, you know. I feel like that's kind of part of a bit of an entertainment thing that you do whilst doing other things, you know, like getting candy floss at a fair, you know, get your tail painted, you know, these little things. We'll throw some showers down. Now, it's completely unnecessary because I'm sure they should all be getting wet fur just from coming here, basically. Because when they all come out of the stations, they all are underwater, so wet fur shouldn't really be a problem. But I might get a couple of showers just for thematic reasons. Maybe next to my mud bath, you know, wash off before going back in the ocean. Or vice versa, wash off before going in the mud bath, you know. As just common courtesy dictates. Decorations. Now, roofs will be problematic if I want to try and get those on the go. But we'll see what we can do. And then, of course, we have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And, well, quite frankly, just everything else. So we'll see how it all goes exactly, but yeah, we'll like I said, yeah, we'll simply see how it goes. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking satellite islands. Satellite islands here. We will expand this area and make it into a slightly more organized, slightly better looking industrial area. All coming off this as a central hub. Because, I mean, let's be honest, you know. This bad water extraction and then power aqueduct is the central structure. And then I'm thinking a giant farming area down here. You know, we keep the tubes going up. And then we just build a giant farming area. And then, over in this basin, we do something stupid. I don't quite know what that's going to be yet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie, I have basically not had the mental capacity to think of something stupid. Now, for those of you that have seen my previous series, my previous streams, you will know that, well, I would like to think that you would know that I'm pretty good at coming up with doing something stupid. And so I will come up with something. Like I said, I just haven't gotten around to having the mental capacity to be able to do that yet. But I will come up with something oh so stupid to do for this place. This basin is project stupid. So we've got industry, housing and entertainment, agriculture, Project Stupid. Those are the 4 districts we're going to use. These other ones, we'll pretty much just leave them to be as they are, to be honest with you. They might... So we've got clean water here, bad water here, and clean water here. So they... Here. You can barely see those. They might get tapped into for resource reasons. They might get tapped into, yeah, you know, just in general for reason A or B, basically. But we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes, depending on what I come up with in terms of Project Stupid. And so, yeah. That's where we're going to leave this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and hit that beautiful... Well, hang on. Just before we press pause, how far did we get? Oh, we're looking quite nice, aren't we? We have gotten down to this stage in terms of covered flooring. We are unable to build any further because I have not planned this properly. So what we need to do is just... Wait, shouldn't that be big enough? Oh, it is big enough. Just before we go, I'm going to go ahead and put that down. That will allow them to get across and build this, which will allow them to build that, etc. And then get it all the way across. That's a lie. You have to build a second one. That'll allow them to get across. That'll allow me to build the other half of this monstrosity. And so yeah, that'll get finished next session. And so now I'm going to go ahead and hit that glorious pause button. And so when we come back next time, we're going to be concentrating on... well, I think the fun islands. Like I said, I don't know. If you want me to attempt to go for some weird, ridiculous, multi-layered mega complex, let me know in the comments down below. Don't ask me what that looks like. But I will try my best to come up with something. If that is the demand. And we'll see what happens. If that is the demand, I may end up doing Agricultural Island first. Just because I feel like it would take a hell of a lot of metal with other platforms and that kind of stuff to get it done. I may actually need to spend a lot of metal to get that done anyway. So Agricultural Island may come next. We'll find out. But either way, as I said, until next time, that is all we have time for. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed it. And until we see you again, as per always, I do hope that you will stay safe, happy, and healthy.